I got something to say about this.
I've had a sense that lots of restaurants are starting to taste the same. And maybe you too have had a sense that something is amiss. So I wanted to test a hypothesis with my coworkers.
I will sum this up for you why everything tastes the same in 30 seconds. All restaurants have restaurant suppliers. The big restaurant supplier is Cisco. They make all the food, the French fries, the burger patties, your meatballs, whatever it is you get at your local restaurant. They make all that stuff and they can make it cheaper than everybody else because they're so huge. So they're selling to all the mid-level restaurants and the low-level restaurants, and you're just eating Cisco. So most of your food is tasting the same. It's very rare that these mid-level restaurants will make this stuff. One, they got to have the staff constantly there. Two, it's so cheap to buy it from Cisco, and then they can mark it up rather than make it themselves. Maybe the ingredients aren't the best, but it tastes pretty good. So there you go. Cisco. You're just eating Cisco. When you go out to 30, 40 different restaurants, just say, hey, you want to go out for a nice date to Cisco tonight? That's what's going on. Let's hear what this guy's got to say. Maybe he's got something different. Maybe he's saying, John, you're totally wrong.
Are we trapped into eating the same mediocre food from New York to Alaska? And if so, why? And who's behind it?
All right, moment of truth.
That's the mystery we're going to unpack today. To get to the bottom of it, first I went to Harlan, Iowa, woke up at 5 a.m. to talk to a restaurant owner about how they get their food.
I'm Ellen Walsh-Roseman, and I own Milk and Honey.
The thing is, Ellen's restaurant does it differently than most restaurants in 2025. She showed me how she makes something from scratch for French toast. She uses a distributor to get most base ingredients, the milk from a local dairy and the eggs from a local farm, Ellen's. The bread is brioche that the restaurant makes from scratch. From there, the brioche gets baked, cut, dipped in homemade custard, griddled, and served to you, the customer. Or, luckily enough, me.
That's very good.
Good.
It's not just the
That looks awesome, but that's not standard.
French toast. Ellen tries to work with as many local producers as possible.
This is our country skillet, and this is the waffle sourdough bread from a bakery in Omaha.
But for many restaurants, sourcing local ingredients like this is getting harder and harder. Ellen's distributor is regional and employee-owned. But if you're a restaurant owner, especially in a rural area, you might just have one or two distributors to choose from. There's a good chance one of them is a company called Cisco. And they are suspect number one for my deep fried mystery. To hash out that suspicion, I spoke to Austin Frerick, author of the book Barons.
I used to manage an Italian restaurant on the bottom of Central Park in New York City. So I ordered the fish, the meat, all the products, and the brooms and the mops, the oils, everything. And I took inventory every day. And a lot of the stuff we got was from Cisco. But I will give my head chef props because he cooked most everything in the gourmet shop. And they just bought the basic ingredients. They didn't buy the pre-made, pre-packaged food. We had a really great chef. I think it's Joseph Beard is the Beard award-winning chef. Let's hear what this guy's got to say.
Who explained the profound way Cisco is shaping the way we eat out.
The innovation of Cisco was that it was the first national company to essentially offer everything a restaurant needs.
Back in the day, someone like Ellen might have one distributor for butter and another for eggs. But Cisco is what's called a broadliner, supplying
Everything from paper products to meat and produce.
It is like Amazon, but for food.
Cisco was a merger of 9 different wholesale restaurant distributors with kind of the explicit goal of making a national player.
That was in 1969. Fast forward to today, and Cisco has grown so much that it really only has 2 other competitors in the national space.
We're talking hundreds of thousands of restaurants across America all using the same stuff from one company and these 2 others.
Among them, Cisco is the largest, and even a decade ago, controlled an estimated 35% of the market. And this year, their gross profit hit $15 billion.
The scary thing about Cisco was it didn't become this giant through organic growth, but instead it became a giant through relentless acquisitions that went unchecked.
They've acquired over 150 companies to become really one of the only national broadline distributors for restaurants.
Cisco scours the globe for a good deal, and there's reason to be concerned about how they're getting some of those deals.
Food system has moved offshore, which makes policing it really, really hard to do.
But Cisco doesn't just source shrimp and strawberries. They have their own line of mass-manufactured frozen foods. Everything from sourdough and brioche to, as I learned from researching this, jalapeno poppers, other fried appetizers, and desserts. Frozen food, it turns out, isn't just a facet of the Cisco business model, it drives it. In the early 2000s, Cisco was buying jalapeno poppers assembled in Mexico for well below minimum wage and shipped frozen all over the country.
I bet for most of you who don't cook at home, 95% of your food is coming from Cisco. I'm just guessing.
So the food we ordered
But I know if I eat out somewhere, it's probably Cisco.
could have come to a distribution center like this, frozen,
Massive.
shipped to restaurants across the country, then dumped into a fryer. After the food is unloaded off of trucks, it gets cooked up and put on your plate. And Cisco's dominance means the food on that plate is increasingly the same and increasingly worse.
Do you think regional variety is disappearing?
Yeah, I would say so.
You've probably had a Cisco meal without even realizing it. They offer everything from these sad bread rolls to Wagyu beef burger patties. If you've ever spent time in a hospital or a prison, you might have had a meal off of a Cisco truck. And if you pay attention, they're everywhere.
Hey, that reminds me. Watch this video here. I did probably have Cisco bologna when I was in jail. They passed out these sandwiches in jail. Watch this video. I'll explain why I was in jail. But once a day in jail in New York City, a guy would come into the cell, and I was in a cell with like 50 other dudes, with a milk carton and had sandwiches in it. And it had this nasty bread and this nasty luncheon meat. Kind of like bologna, but with it wasn't pure. It had other stuff in it. It was just nasty meat sandwiches. And that was your food once a day. And they're like a little milk carton, I think. And they come around and throw it at you. And I just gave mine to the guy next to me. He's like, hey, do you want yours? I'm like, nah, you can have it. And I just didn't eat for 3 days while I was in jail. Because it was just gross. It was like the cheapest luncheon meat ever. I think it was once a day. I don't remember exactly. It was decades ago. But if you're interested in that story, watch this video.
So it's getting harder and harder to avoid getting the exact same frozen meal at your local diner or brewery. It probably won't taste that great either.
If you were to buy pre-made brioche from one of the big national distributors,
They probably will try to keep things cheap, so like they're probably not going to use butter.
so they'll use like a canola oil
Sure,
or
yeah,
shortening,
shortening or something like that.
Yeah.
And then like their sugar might be like processed sugar, like a high fructose corn syrup kind of thing.
Austin found a story of a
I tell you, that's the key. Eat like they did in the 70s, 60s, and 50s.
Pennsylvania diner whose burgers weren't frying the same on the grill. When the owner investigated, he realized the patties now contained soy protein filler. Cisco and their competitors are flooding restaurants with ultra-processed food like this. Now, you might expect that with a deep-fried cheddar jalapeno popper, but maybe less so with something like bread.
The irony is you could be a diner in a small town in Iowa, surrounded by some of the world's best farmland, and yet nothing on the menu is coming from around you.
With the competition bought out, Cisco has more leverage to arbitrarily raise prices. During COVID, for instance, they used their market power to pass on inflation to their customers and increase.
What about the American people? What about doing your best for America? What about that? Hey, we're America. We're going to feed everybody great. We're going to treat everybody great. We're going to have the best food. We're going to have the best streets and bridges. We're going to look out for each other. Why not do that? It makes you feel good to care about other people. Instead of 200 billion, you got 199 billion. Wow, F people. Let's get 200 billion. I like that looking out for each other. Is there anyone else out there who thinks that's fun? You think is that a good idea? John, you're crazy. Let me know in the comments. You think I'm nuts? We should all look out for each other a little. I like looking out for each other. It feels good. It feels good.
Increased their earnings by 159%.
Yay.
Cisco CEO even said on an earnings call that they had no intention of competing on price.
Smaller restaurants have almost no negotiating power with Cisco. And so if you are in a rural area where there, aren't any other distributors, then restaurants really don't have many options at all.
Look at all the businesses. Look at all the millions of people. We can only buy from one distributor.
Cisco already tried to buy their largest competitor, US Foods, but was shut down by the FTC. Now, Cisco's two largest competitors are signaling they might try to merge. In an environment where the biggest companies aggressively push out competition, makes sense. It also means restaurants will have even less choice than they already do, and farmers will have less bargaining power when selling their food. But what about my mission to get the same food in entirely different states? We ordered a mix of jalapeno poppers, fried pickles, and funnel cake fries. In Nebraska, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and in Alaska. All right, moment of truth. Jalapeno popper. Never been to this restaurant, never been to the city, but it just tastes like something I've had 100 times. In Omaha, I am pretty sure I got the Cisco brand jalapeno popper, though, to be fair, their main competitor sells almost the same thing. The one that I got in Brooklyn was clearly different than that one and was a little bit better. Here in New Jersey, I ordered funnel cake fries. They seem exactly the same as the ones I got in Omaha. A fellow producer also ordered them in Philadelphia and another in Anchorage. I also ordered some fried pickles, which is what my fellow producer ordered in Philly. They're clearly different. One is chips, one is spears, but there's a chance that I got these Cisco pickle spears. Don't get me wrong. You've probably had a frozen Cisco meal and thought it was totally fine. But the point is, in this giant food system, something is being lost. Regional variety, local jobs, local businesses, and just having a unique meal. A meal that's different.
Interesting. We're all paying 50, 100%, 200, 300% markup on stuff, frozen stuff from Cisco. But when they get so big like that, it's just about your stockholders, right? And there are good things about that and there are bad things about that. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm nuts, but I just feel like we should try to do the best for each other. I fail at that, but it makes me feel good to do something good and do something nice and not feed you terrible food. I have people over. I make everything. I think most of it. It's hard, but hang in there, everybody. So that was a random scroll. We ended up back at food. I've been doing a lot of food stuff lately. I'm a new channel, but this one video has been doing well on my channel. Some of my videos only get 4 or 5 views because I'm just starting out. Well, maybe they're terrible, but this one, check out this one. Everyone seems to like this one about rubber meat in my experience and some other experiences. So check out that one if you want, looking for something to watch next. It's a good one. I hope it's a good one. That's me critiquing myself, and I say I stand behind it. It's a good one. But you let me know. All right, great hanging out with you. I hope to see you in the next one.